From the moment we arrived, we knew these next few days were going to be full of excitement. This was the inaugural Barrels on the Bayou, and we were in for a treat. We started our first full day with the plan to explore the city before we made our way to Barrels on the Bayou and wound up being drawn to sound that led us directly into the French Quarter Fest that we had no idea was happening that weekend. This was a pleasant surprise, but the amount of people was overwhelming to the unknown. So we took off and logged it as a possible destination later in the trip, off to Drago's for lunch. If you know anything about New Orleans, you know char grilled oysters are a must-have every visit, and Drago's is one of our favorites. Nothing excites the appetite quite like watching that live fire dance across those garlic buttered oysters. After lunch, we're off to Barrels on the Bayou. Right away, we were greeted with a surprise wedding second line. We've been to the city several times, but this was the first time we got to actually witness this tradition. And then, just as soon as we get back into the fest, a Barrel on the Bayou second line broke out. It was everything we've been waiting for. Nothing but pure joy and great energy. Culturally, second line parades are considered a unique moving party that reflects the community spirit of New Orleans. Rooted in Black American tradition, these parades often celebrate life, funerals, or weddings. Participants commonly wave handkerchiefs or decorated umbrellas and perform free-form style of dance, often in Treme and French Quarter neighborhoods. The inaugural Barrels on the Bayou was held at historic Lafayette Square. It featured samplings from brewery collaborations, ciders, and whiskey makers from all over the country. Of course, we had to represent the Dope Cider House. Steel Valley Cigars made the trip as well. Food vendors featured a variety of local cuisine and also some diverse options. I had a queso birria fritas that was so good and never had a chance to make it on camera. We were entertained throughout the fest with a lineup of some amazing DJs, bands, and artists. After a day of excitement like that, it was time to retire to the hotel room and get rest for what may be in store for the next day. Our last day of the trip was a true expedition. We decided to venture through the city to find a gem we heard about from watching a YouTube traveler called Bayou and Company. Walking through the French Quarter just about guarantees a serenade from local artists on any given street. Along the way, we were able to capture a few views of historic importance to the culture of the city and possibly the entire country. When we arrived at Baldwin and Company, the setting was intimate and inviting. This coffee shop and bookstore creates the perfect duality space. The courtyard was perfect to host events or just have relaxing reflections while turning pages. We will definitely make it a spot to visit each time in New Orleans. Added bonus, Loretta's is right around the corner. If you know, you know. And for the more laid-back traveler, Frenchman Street is only a few steps away as well if you're not into the rave of Bourbon Street. Our final night would end with a riverboat jazz cruise on the Natchez. It was a bit breezy, but the sights along the Mississippi River were worth the chill. But I do suggest you pack a jacket during certain times of the year. This moving party served up a buffet of delicious New Orleans classic dishes, drinks, live jazz, and a history lesson as we floated along the river. For those who don't know, Domino Sugar Factory is located in New Orleans along the riverside. Definitely some complicated beginnings, but still a staple in every coffee shop and grocery store across America. Again, if you know, you know. cascade of the night lights created a beautiful ending to the night and our trip. We live busy lives between work and entrepreneurship, but sometimes our industries award us the opportunities for workshops, conferences, and conventions in some prime destinations, education with benefits. So whenever we get a chance to get away to any of those, we make the most of it. Everything from food, shopping, concerts, and festivals. We're here for it all, and each time we can't wait to tell you what a time we had.